was one of those dog days of summer. An afternoon when you could find egg on the sidewalk, and if you were lucky, it wouldn't evaporate a few seconds later. My name, by the way, is Steele, Bruce Steele. And as I walked joylessly to my dank office, the glare from the sun off the windshields of parked cars nearly blinded me. Oh, pardon me, miss.
No, it's quite all right.
She was dressed like the First Lady, but with an air of a cat on the prowl. Ow!
Let me get it.
Ow!
After you, Mr.
Banner. The name is Although Banner. That was far from my real last name. I couldn't afford for just any old broad to have access to my personal identity. Here you go, miss.
Why, thank you, Mr. Banner. And perhaps next time you might want to pay a little bit more attention to where you're going.
Later that day, I was perusing the daily paper in my office, and I cringed at the headline. Gang-related deaths on the rise as new crime boss moves into town. Here we were, perfectly comfortable with the relatively peaceful dealings of Don Giovanni, who strongly favored breaking legs and kicking in teeth, to burning powder and blowing people down. And here comes in the new knucklehead, with a chopper squad the size of Manhattan, looking to turn this city rotten. Funny thing was, this fella liked to keep a low profile. They called him Don Julio, but even some of his closest confidants had never seen his face. He was just the voice on the other end of an intercom, a suit which you couldn't confirm whether it was French cut or Italian style. To both the coppers and the reporters, he was nothing more than a ghost, but his hand was quickly sweeping from the west side to east of the river, leaving pools of blood in his wake. Even poor Giovanni was running scared, limiting his shipments of booze from Canada, driving prices even higher. Meanwhile, speedily headed down back roads and generally making a whole bunch of racket were a Mr. Will Power and the plucky Miss Missy Steadfast, engaging in quite unscrupulous activities.
Hey, yo, Will, don't you think you're going a little too fast?
Too fast? I don't even know the meaning of the word.
That's 2 words, Will.
See? Told you I didn't know. I wouldn't be a good getaway driver if I couldn't put the hammer down.
Well, you are the muscle of this operation.
What can I say? I'm a jack of all trades.
Oh, you're something special, all right. Yo, Will, where are you going?
Oh, this shipment of booze is for the boss's private collection.
Ah, that would explain why it's all high-dollar goods.
Yeah, he likes all that hoity-toity whiskey. It's still too sweet for a bloke like me. Give me a bottle of gin, and I'm a gay guy.
Will, Mr. Buzz.
You know how we're gonna catch this out, guys.
I think we lost him.
Did you have any doubt?
Maybe a little.
You must have never worked with plugs like me before.
No, can't say that I have.
So, Missy, answer me this. Have you ever been pinched?
Yeah. Actually, I just got out after doing some time.
What for?
Got caught helping a bookie.
I've been in the slammer. It's been a few years, and I thank my lucky stars every day I'm out of that filthy place. Let me ask you one more thing, dog. What's a broad doing like you mixed up in this nasty business?
Well, when I was 16, I got tired of not having enough to eat and wearing hand-me-down clothes at the orphanage. So I decided to take matters into my own hands.
16, eh? So last year then?
Ha! Nice joke, Bob. But I'm 26.
Okay, I will take that into account. I wouldn't want you to powder my nose with those cute little mittens.
Well, anyway, have you ever met the boss? I've been working for him for 3 months and I still haven't seen his face.
You getting the old speaker box treatment, eh? Yeah, he likes to be heard, not seen, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm. So, were you special enough, or are you also behind the closed doors?
I've met him, but I'm not answering any questions or divulging any information to you kids.
Well, I hope you don't think it's out of line for me to be curious.
Frankly, I'd be a bit concerned if you weren't perfectly fine with never meeting a shadow.
Well, hopefully one day I can earn the trust to be in the inner circle.
Yeah, you do a good job. But long hard work, and you reward you handsomely.
Good to hear. I can use all the cold hard cash I can get.
can say that folks don't criticize me, but I'm going to do just as I want to anyway, and don't care just what people say. If I should take a notion to jump into the ocean, ain't nobody's business if I do. Nobody's business. Ain't nobody's business. Nobody's business if I do.
Don't always win. I'm gonna show you the brighter side of living in sin. So when you're 6 feet under, you won't wonder why. Just 'cause you got a halo, don't mean that you can fly. If you thought it was over, you may have tried. You made a blunder.
And just as this private eye thought he'd have no work for the 3rd day in a row, there was a knock upon my office door.
I'm looking for Mr. Bruce Steele.
It was the same doll from the sidewalk, only this time she was sporting a casual grin.
Sure, babe. What would you like?
Well, I'd like to hire Mr. Steele for some detective work.
Hold on just a tick. Let me get my notebook. You should have a seat.
Is Mr. Steele in? I'm not looking to be put on by some second-rate schlub.
Schlub. Was it not clear to you that I am Bruce Steele?
You told me Banner this morning. Which is it?
Look, babe, I can't give my name out to just anybody.
Any stranger you bump into on the street?
Yes, exactly.
As Vivian giggled, I grimaced. I knew her type. She was sweet, that was for certain. So sweet that she lifted you up as she spread a smile across those lips. But too much of that grin, and she'd make your stomach sick. There was definitely something about her that smelled rotten, but she covered it up with so much honey that I couldn't pinpoint it for quite some time. I just knew to watch my back, and my front, too.
You
want to cry.
That was the final time that afternoon in which I heard Vivian let out a laugh. Her tone quickly changed as she handed over the file, and I could see some weakness in the eyes of the femme that seemed ever so strong and self-confident just a few short moments ago.
That's my husband, Will Power. He's about 6'2", 250 pounds. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to you.
Let's start with the basics. Tell me why you're here.
Frankly, Mr. Steele, I believe that my husband is cheating on me.
I'm so sorry to hear, Mrs. Power.
I don't know her name, but she's the one, I'm sure of it. Could you...
Track him?
Yes.
You do realize that if I do this, you will find out the truth, even if it's dirty.
Yes, Bruce, I want to know.
All right, I'll do what I can for you. First, can you tell me where you live and his workplace?
It's in this folder.
Any idea where he might go tonight?
It's Friday, right? He'll be at Club Snake.
Club Snake?
Yes, it's a joint that sells giggle water, if you catch my drift.
At this point, I knew I may be getting in over my head. Vivian wanted me to go to a speakeasy to check in on her man. This place surely had to be full of Skid Rows and Red Hot. Everyone knows that people of good virtue don't engage in these sorts of illicit activities. This assignment could be my last, and I'm already feeling sick to my stomach, like I've eaten too much sugar, taken in by a banana split smile and cherry eyes over top.
So there's a code for the door. I wrote it on this slip of paper, but you're gonna have to memorize it.
I don't know that I should be on any list.
Well, don't worry, I'll use your pseudonym.
I hope you understand that my delving into illegal activities in order to get my evidence for you will cost you extra.
Mr. Steele, price is no object.
With those words being said, there was no way I could turn her down now. This private dick has been thirsty for some time now, and he may have just found his next watering hole.
Thank you so much, Mr. Steele. I'll phone you tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it, Mrs. Power. Oh no, what did I get myself into?
1940 and break number 2. I was now a singing employee of Tommy Dorsey, the General Motors of the band business. And man, the loot was out of this world. Every single week, 125 clams. But even more fabulous, I was rubbing elbows with TD's arranger geniuses such as Axel Stordahl, Cy Oliver, Paul Weston, Dean Kincaid, etc., etc., etc. And with talent like that going for you, plus a song like this, plus the Pied Pipers, why, a minor bird could come up with a hit platter.
I'll never smile again until I smile at you. I'll never laugh again. What good would it do? You till I smile at you.
Hey, Miss Kiss, let us dance.
Mrs. Kiss Kiss Bang, she's not a fool. Extraordinary and oh so cool. When I feel the touch of her sweet lips, I know this is a devil's kiss. She sets my soul on fire with no return. Ooh, baby, just burn, burn, burn. And I think we're like Mr. and Mrs. Right. So I'll give you my heart tonight. Miss Kiss Kiss Bang, come let us sing. Miss Kiss Kiss Bang, now let's swing. Take your sweet, sweet, sweet little thing. Miss Kiss, come on and let us sing. The hee-hee-hi-ho, sing the hee-hee-hi-ho. Do the hee-hee-hi-hey, sing the hee-hee-hi-hey. Do the dip-dip-dip-dee, sing the dip-dip-dip-dee. Do the skiddly-skiddly-bo, skiddly-skiddly-bo. Now do the Gucci bang bang, sing the Gucci bang bang. Do the skiddly-cockily-boodly-bop, skiddly-cockily-boodly-bop. Do the oh. Mrs. Kiss, you are my baby tonight.
Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst. Putting on the Ritz.
.237 Copperhead Circle, an appropriate address for a venomous snake pit. Surely a sign that I should turn and run if I ever saw one. However, just like Vivian said, there was a green door lit by one exposed bulb with the words "No Entry" on it in faded red letters. And just like her instructions, an imposing-looking gentleman in a broad-brimmed hat stood in front of it with his arms crossed. Her husband was supposed to be here tonight, imbibing at his leisure and purportedly locking lips with another woman. It was up to me to gather some concrete evidence.
Oh, 237 Copperhead, there it is.
Can I help you?
Sure, I'd like to get in.
Can you read?
No, but I'll bet you're about to read something to me.
It says no entry, buddy.
Look, there was something I was supposed to say to you.
It appears you're having a hard time figuring out what that is.
Memorization was never my strong point. Just ask my high school poetry teacher.
Mary had three blind mice, while the dish ran away with Little Bo Peep.
Close enough. You still have to be on the list. What's your name?
Should be under Banner there, Bird.
It looks like the old lady pulled some strings getting you in here. But one toe out of line will mow you down, you hear?
Looks like I was walking into something a little bigger than I had anticipated.
I'll behave. I promise.
I could hear the music of the nightclub, just as soon as the tough guy opened the door. The broad had shown me pictures of her hubby, and I had best keep my eyes peeled for him. But first, I had to survey my surroundings, take it all in.
One night Farmer Brown was taking the air, locked up the barnyard with the greatest of care. Down in the hen house something stirred when he shouted, "Who's there?" This is what he heard: "There ain't nobody here but us chickens. There ain't nobody here at all. So calm yourself and stop that fuss. There ain't nobody here but us. We chickens trying to sleep, and you butt in and hobble, 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 hobble with your chin. There ain't nobody here but us chickens. There ain't nobody here at all. You're stomping around, shaking around, you're kicking up an awful dust. We chickens trying to sleep, and you butt in and hobble, 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 hobble. It's a sin. Tomorrow is a busy day. We got things to do, we got eggs to lay, we got ground to dig and worms to scratch. It takes a lot of setting, getting chicks to hatch. There ain't nobody here but us chickens. There ain't nobody here at all. So quiet yourself and stop that fuss. There ain't nobody here but us. And kindly point that gun the other way and hobble, hobble, hobble off and hit the hay. Hey.
The girl all down to school, you
Perhaps sitting at a corner table reading a newspaper wasn't the best way to avoid suspicion and disputes. But here I was, sticking to what I knew. I had grown used to catching people in their indiscretions. That was the name of the private detective game. But I typically wasn't also in the line of fire of what I could only assume to be some of the biggest crime names in town. I got a case of the shakes as I made eye contact with a big gorilla at the bar. He looked like he could take me out with his pinky finger. He also looked familiar. It was him, Vivian's husband, Will Power. The little broad next to him must be his side dish.
Hey, what you drinking?
Just a warm glass of milk to wash down my dinner.
What do you know? I like this guy.
Oh, don't mind him. It ain't just a line. We like your mug. I'd like to buy your next round.
Well, this was certainly unexpected. I had to think fast.
Aren't you two a sweet couple? Hey, pull up a chair. The waitress will be back around.
You're a fresh fish. I ain't seen you before. What kind of game are you into?
I squeeze profits out of hot cars mostly. You, in the market?
We're peachy keen at the moment. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have any conflicts of interest.
Well, let me level with you. You seem well liked here. Everybody seems to know your face. But liquor isn't my swindle. Never will be.
Told ya.
So are we good here then?
Sure, boyo. Just let me get you that drink. Here you go, pal. Down the hatch.
As much as I wanted to decline, Will Power's broad shoulders and kiss me deadly lips were enough for me to risk taking the drink.
Hey man, this isn't funny. Get off. Get off. Oh, wow. Looks like someone pumped him full of lead. Hey, doggone it. My wallet's missing.
In parting, we leave you with a mambo. All of the brakes are open, so use your own creative powers to make it swing. So, let's play bongos.
her a beating, so she cautiously rolling in, and with the weight on my head till she barged it in. I like old dead in the market, stone cold dead in the market. I like old dead in the market, she killed nobody for her husband.
I lick him with the pot and the frying pan. I lick him with the pot and the frying pan. I lick him with the pot and the frying pan. That if I kill him, he had it coming, man. He's stone cold dead in the market. He's stone cold dead in the market. He's stone cold dead in the market. I killed nobody but my husband. Stone cold dead in the market, murder. Stone cold dead in the market. The criminal is stone cold dead in the market. I killed nobody but my husband.
I could be certain of one thing after last night, that Mr. Power wanted to frame me for a murder. However, the big question remained, was Vivian part of the setup, or was this all pure coincidence? For now, I trusted her as much as a pocket could trust in a fountain pen.
So, Bruce, what did you find out?
I found out, Mrs. Power, that your husband is messed up in some nasty business.
So it's true? He's seeing another woman?
That's the only thing I can't be sure of at this point. But as for running booze, drugging private dicks, murder, those can all be put on the list of certainties.
Murder?
That's what stood out to you more than the fact that he drugged yours truly?
I'm sorry. I don't know what to think.
Listen, Toots, if you're at all a part of this, you better come clean now, or things could get very ugly for you.
I did not come here to be threatened.
So you knew nothing about this?
About what?
You didn't tell your husband to set me up as a scapegoat for a mafia mowdown?
Why would I?
All right. I'll chalk this up to pure coincidence, just this one time.
Listen, Mr. Steele, I know that my husband is involved in some things, but that doesn't change the fact that I simply need to know whether or not he's being unfaithful to me.
Oh, so now murder doesn't matter to you, but adultery does?
I know it's not easy for you to have empathy for me, Mr. Steele, but please, there's no one else I can turn to.
When she looked at me with those big brown eyes, I knew I was sunk. Sunk in the ocean with concrete shoes.
I'll do what I can for you, Mrs. Power. but this will cost you double.
Your eyes make me whole, but the story I'm told is your heart is as black as night. Your lips may be sweet, such that I can't compete, but your heart is as black as night. I don't know why it came along at such a perfect time, but if I let you hang around, I'm bound to lose my mind. 'Cause your hands may be strong, but the feelings are wrong. Your heart is as black. Your heart is as black. Oh, your heart is as black.
She said, I don't know what you plan to do, but if you're like that girl, then God bless you. Gonna get one fine day in December. We can play out the early box and some new blocks too. It's so wonderful just seeing you. Gonna find Jack of the blue and sweep you up with your heavy shoes. Make you dance with me and sing some too. It's so wonderful just meeting you. You bring such joy to me. Ooh, let your joy
apologized again for the mix-up, and I could see distress in her eyes as she handed me a slip of paper with the address of Ritz-Carlton and a room number. She had reason to believe her husband went there with that side dish of his on Tuesday nights, not the poker room like he had led her to believe.
Don't try any funny business, clown.
My, what a warm reception.
It's 2 against 1, bub. Tighten those lips or you'll be in serious trouble.
Hey, Will, aren't you going to introduce me?
Look, Dick, this is how it's going to work. You're going to stay right here and look pretty while we back out of this room. Close your eyes, count to 25, and then you're more than welcome to leave. Oh, and say a real long word like anti-disestablishmentarianism between each one of those numbers.
Hey, can it be something more like Pennsylvania?
Yeah, fine. We just need a little head start.
But your legs are longer.
If I was 6'2", that might be true. Come on, Doc, let's blow this joint.
4 Pennsylvania. 5 Pennsylvania.
Please, open up. Put down your weapon.
I'm cooperating. There's another handgun inside my jacket here.
Is that it?
Yes.
You do know who this is, don't you, Lenny?
Who is it?
This tough killed Don Giovanni.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Tell him at the station. You believe this, Carl? Trying to take us for suckers.
Easy, fellas.
I'll watch it.
The blue shirts were right. Lying on the floor, dead, was Don Giovanni, our lovely old crime boss. Whatever Mr. Power was mixed up in, he certainly had to be involved with Don Julio's gang. Why else would he risk a hit this big? And on the ground, right next to the Don, were his 2 head goons.
Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week.
'Cause that's the night that my sweetie and I used to dance cheek to cheek. I don't mind the Sunday night at all, 'cause that's the night friends come to call. And Monday to Friday go fast, and another week is past. But Saturday night is the loneliest night in the week. I sing the song that I sang for the memories I usually seek, until I hear you at the door, until you're in my arms once more. Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week. Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week. I sing the song that I sang for the memories I usually see, until I hear you at that door, until you're in my arms once more. Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week.
I see the shadows on my face. People have told me I don't look the same. Maybe I lost weight. I'm playing hooky with the best of the best. Pull my heart out my chest so that you can see it too. I'm walking the long road, watching the sky fall. The lace in your dress tangles my neck. How do I live? The death of a bachelor, letting the water fall. The death of a bachelor, seems so fitting for nothing ever after. How can I ask for more? Lifetime of laughter at the expense of the death of a bachelor. I'm cutting my mind off. Feels like my heart is going to burst. Alone at a table for two, and I just wanna be served. And when you think of me, am I the best you've ever had? Share one more drink with me, smile even though you're sad.
Well, from the looks of that suit, things aren't looking too good for you, are they, Mr. Steele?
I know the truth.
But are you going to tell it to me?
Ask me anything you want to know. It's up to you to decide whether or not I'm giving you the runaround.
Well, let's start with that alleyway on Copperhead Circle.
What about it?
We found your wallet in that alley, next to a dead man.
Oh, so that's where it ended up. Hey, do you mind giving it back? I had $1,000 in there.
Nice try, it contained $5.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you're right.
You're already behind the 8 ball here. You really don't want to say anything to cause me to have a beef with you.
I'll play nice.
All right, how did your wallet get in that alley?
I went to a nice little joint, listen to some live music, read the newspaper. I get handed a drink. Next thing you know, I end up in an alley, bump on my head, and a guy laying across me, dead from lead poisoning.
I find that hard to believe.
I would too, but it's true.
So you're suggesting you were drugged?
I know I was drugged.
So who drugged you?
Some mafia Bruno.
Well, how would a private detective like you get mixed up with the mafia?
One of my clients is hitched to a member.
And who is this client?
It's still an open case. That's confidential information.
Look, pal, I'm sick of your attitude and all the red herrings. I have a Giovanni gang member dead in an alleyway, and your wallet's found at the scene. I have Giovanni himself and 2 other stiffs in a hotel room, and you're there pointing a gun. I'm interrogating a prisoner here.
I'm his lawyer. He doesn't want to flap his gums anymore until he speaks with me. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I suggest you leave. Follow. So listen, Mr. Steele. I'm an undercover federal officer assigned to identify Don Julio. I think you know something I don't. So you help me, and I'll help you.
Prove it. Show me some ID.
Clearly, Julio wanted to use you as his patsy so he could pin the murders on someone else. Must have looked up safecrackers like yourself from the past, and your name was the first on the list.
I'm out of that game now. Been so for a number of years.
Safecrackers like you have a reputation that never goes away.
Yeah, I was a can opener, but I was a kid back then. I had a Robin Hood complex.
Well, now the buttons think you're a goon. Not much of a stretch.
Okay, I get it. I get what they want from me, but what is it you want from me?
Well, who hired you for this gig?
Will Power's wife, Vivian.
Will isn't married.
Well, then some dame is hooked in with Julio.
I have reason to believe she is Julio.
Could be. No one knows what the boss looks like. But why should she take such a risk?
Because it's fun. It's all a game to her. Face it, bud. You got played like a violin.
But what if I had talked?
You have false lead in the eyes of the cops. Besides, they wanted me to come in here and put you in a Chicago overcoat.
What?
So, I poison you. You fall down, die, and we call it a heart attack.
But you're not going to.
Oh, I'm still gonna drug you. But don't worry, it won't be fatal. Just enough to get you into an ambulance and out of here so that we can go identify this Jane.
Well, go on. Lay that Nevada gas on me. It isn't like I had anything else to do today.
Here, take this.
Down the hatch. Gulp.
Doctor! We need a doctor!
Every night your night is busy, all that buzzing makes me dizzy. Couldn't count on all my fingers, all the days you had to swingers.
The Countess of the Clique, the Mistress of Murderers Row, Matron Mama Morton.
Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me, 'cause the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tact for what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu, spice it up for mama, she'll get hot for you. When they pass that basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks atop the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up my ladder, kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're stroking mama, mama's stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's
Missy did a bait and switch at the station, disguising herself as an ambulance driver and taking me off-site. She slipped away from the coppers who were supposed to guard me, jacked a car, and gave me the lowdown. She heard tell that vixen of a mob boss was hosting a private masquerade tonight with some high rollers at a fancy hotel, but didn't know where. Then a light bulb went off in my head. That Vivian doll, whatever her real name was, left an empty matchbook on my desk for the Hotel Chevalier. It wasn't a guarantee, but it was sure worth a shot. Good thing Missy had a change of clothes for me.
Well, Missy, picking her out of this crowd is not going to be easy. Not like this.
Well, don't worry. I have all night.
Not her. Not her either. Missy? I don't think she's here.
Oh, come on. I seriously doubt we just happened to stumble upon a hotsy-totsy masquerade ball. Maybe she just likes making an entrance. Welcome, everybody. Not so fast, sister.
A little help, please? You ain't got nothing on me, sleuth.
If we take into account your double negative, you're absolutely right there, kitten. We've got something on you. Everything.
You can't even begin to fathom how much I own of this town and the force.
Your rap sheet is so long, Punk, the feds are on your case now. Or should I say, Julia Banks.
You can't prove a thing.
We'll just have to see now, won't we? Come on.
If there's one thing I learned after this whole adventure, it was that the private detective game was not for me. I needed more excitement. I needed to keep this blood pumping. Despite my background, Missy got me a job at the Bureau, and I was never again behind a desk. As for Vivian, or Julia, she's going to be locked up for a long time.
So hey, what are you in here for?
Nothing really, just knocking off my husband.
Well, that's impressive. You sure showed that jobby, huh?
I did. What are you here for?
Well, I grafted $20,000 in a church.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
And what are you here for? Will you two just shut up? God, this is gonna be a long 30 years.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world, and a whole world for me.
words more than I could possibly say. He was a real artistic guy. Sensitive. A painter. But he was always trying to find himself. He'd go out every night looking for himself, and on the way, he found Ruth, Gladys, Rosemary, and Irving. I guess you could say we broke up because of artistic differences. He saw himself as alive, and I saw him dead. The dirty bomb.